Hello, I am Joseph Kennedy, the co-founder of the Innovation Scholarship Fund Association. I am here with Josca Moore, a three-time recipient of the Innovation Scholarship and a recent graduate of New York University. So welcome, Josca, to having this conversation with us. We are looking forward to talking with you.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
Well, thanks for doing this. I know you're busy and stuff, but we really appreciate you taking time and making some time for us.
No problem. No problem. I love everything that innovation stands for and what you all have done for me in my experience. So I'm always happy to have any conversation and just reach out.
Fantastic. So, look, I've been looking forward to talking to you for a good little while now. So, let's just dive right into it. Um,
Okay.
Here's my first question to you. You come from, a very creative family, and it's a tight knit family. What was it like growing up?
Wow. So growing up, the house was very like bustly and busy. My dad, as you probably know, is a musician and he plays almost every instrument. So my oldest brother kind of took after him. So there
Okay.
was always like trumpets going off, and me and my second oldest brother started off as dancers. So we'd be dancing all over the place. There'll be like instruments playing. My mom is also in the drama theater. She's also does visual art, so there'll be some of that besides the performing arts. So yeah, we just made it work. Some people would be in the basement doing their thing. Some people would be upstairs doing their thing. Sometimes we would like come together and show each other what we were working on.
Oh,
I mean,
that's
it was
cool.
cool, actually. Yeah, very, very, very supportive of each other, which you don't always find. And I'm very fortunate and blessed to have grown up with that type of support system because everybody was understanding and empathetic and everybody knew about what everyone was like going for, what the goals were, because everybody was so creative. So
No,
that was
that's
really nice to grow up in a family. It was so creative.
no, that's fantastic. Your parents, you mentioned them. They both attended HD Woodson, the association's favorite high school.
Yeah.
Um, how have they really influenced you? You said your dad is a musician, your mom does drama. I know she directs. I know she writes. They both like Renaissance people. So how did they influence you?
Well, so for as long as I can remember, they wanted us to know how important HD Woodson was to them. I remember while I was while I was a kid living in Georgia, because we kind of moved back and forth, but we would visit DC very often. Every time we visit DC, we had to visit HD Woodson.
Uh-oh.
There was no visiting DC without visiting HD Woodson. We would go to the band room. We would walk around the hallways of the school, and it just made me like really excited to grow up and grow up in the arts. And so like being in the band room and just kind of like envisioning like what goes on in a band room, like what goes on with people who are in instrumental music, what goes on with people who are in the performing arts in general. It just like that's one thing that really excited me because we had been visiting HD Woodson probably, when it was like when it was like the tower, like before they did the
Yeah, the
big
Tower of Power.
yeah, we were in there during that time. And so even though I never went there like to attend as a school, I feel like I have some type of relationship with that school. And that's a part of the influence that my parents have on me because knowing the power of that school and what it meant to them as students, as people, as creators and artists really just influenced me to like choose a school that would do the same for me.
That's fantastic. Now, you were homeschooled until you started high school. What was
Yes.
that transition like?
Well, first of all, I feel like I've grown a lot since my transition from homeschool to public school. I remember my first day of eighth grade because my high school happened to start in the eighth grade.
Okay.
That um, I was painfully shy. It's so different now, but back then I was shy and I would like shake when I thought somebody was trying to ask me a question or talk to me. But now it's kind of like I've grown out of that, and I have the arts to really thank for that because really coming out of your shell and taking those types of classes really helped me just like break that layer of like the timidness that I had when I was going into public school because I mean, I wasn't homeschooled by myself. Sometimes my brother or my sister was with me being homeschooled, but not for the entire time
Okay.
that I was homeschooled. Or sometimes my mom will homeschool like two other people along with me. So it might be at most four of us at a time, but that still
Okay.
wasn't a lot compared to hundreds of people who I ended up going to school with. So that's a big jump. But I think what really, really helped me grow were my dance classes, my drama classes, really. Um, yeah. So I grew a lot. Probably by ninth grade, I was really finding the flow of things. And yeah, homeschool was really a good experience because I was able to find myself, really focus on my studies. And I felt like that's why I did pretty well the academic side of things when I went into school, because I was really able to focus during homeschool. Yeah.
Fantastic. So let's go back in time a little bit. You
Okay.
are a long way from home. You're in London studying abroad, New York University's London campus. What do you remember most about that first year of college?
Wow. That was an incredible year. So many memorable moments happened. And what I remember most is actually stepping foot like into the campus space, like into the, because the first thing I did the first day I was there was take a tour. They had a little event where you could take a tour of the surrounding area where you're living, where your dorm is. And so actually I had never been out of the country. So it was kind of ironic that my first time out of the country, out of the United States, was me moving to London for a year.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that was a big step. And I had never been there. And I just decided, I mean, there's no language barrier. Everybody speaks English, even though it's kind of, you know, some slang and different things to take into
Mm-hmm.
account. But I just assumed that I would be fine and I would figure myself out and figure it out along the way with the help of other people, my peers who were also Americans, and my teachers and things like professors and things like that. But I remember that moment taking the tour. And also another moment that was really memorable was when I went on a trip to a museum with one of my classes, with one of my journalism classes, and just looking at the art and just paying attention to how London in particular values the art is
Mm.
very, very different from America. And that's something that was abundantly clear to me. They value the arts way more than we do here in America. And the reason why I found that out is because places like the Royal Opera House in
Mm-hmm.
London, it's just like a like the talk of the town, basically a spectacle. People want to go there. You're considered like very like high end if you go there. You're in the know, you're in the now type thing. If you like go to the Royal Opera House and see shows and see ballets and see operas. And I was like, here I have people asking me like, why am I studying drama? As in like a question, not to figure out why. They're just
Yeah.
kind of, it's kind of like a jab at,
Yeah.
like I could be studying something like math and science or something like that. Like why would you be studying drama? Had people ask like, isn't drama school like summer camp? Why would you go to
Mm-hmm.
drama school? So that's the type of things people in America have asked me. People in London were very excited that I was into the art.
Interesting.
Yeah, very interested. And even though I wasn't a drama major yet because I switched majors, but even though I wasn't a drama major yet, I was still trying to find extracurricular activities that I could do to just keep my artistic part of me just like alive and flowing. So I was in a dance team, a ballet competition team, and I did a little bit of going to see shows because one of my classes we saw shows every week. And
Mm.
so that's really what made me want to switch to drama. I saw plays and I saw a lot. I don't know if you
So
can hear it's raining in the background. Sorry if
no, I
that's
can't hear it at all. It's cool. It's good stuff. So you
okay.
had a lot of success in college. I mean, you were in a number of productions. What
Yes.
do you think was your defining moment while you were in school?
Wow. So many, another one with so many moments. I think that's because acting school is more about like learning how to be an actor. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
acting school is a lot about learning how to be a person as well. So a lot of my defining moments were me figuring out myself. And through doing productions, in the rehearsal process, you really do figure out yourself, and not just who you are as a performer, but who you are as a human being, and what you believe in, and what your values are, and what you want people to know when they see you. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's a very important thing. Like, I did a very powerful show last November called, well, it's a really long name, but it's, the short name of it is We Are Proud to Present. And basically it's about these group of students. 3 of them are white and 3 of them are Black. And my character is kind of like the leader of the group. It's about a group of students who are putting on a presentation about this tribe in Africa called the Herero tribe of Namibia. And back when Namibia was like a tribe, there was a genocide that happened. And
Mm.
so this African genocide is not covered much in history books and classes. So the point of this play is we want to put on a presentation about this specific genocide.
Mm-hmm.
And the white students and the Black students are butting heads, because the Black students are like, okay, we learned a lot about the Holocaust. How come we never learned about this genocide where all these Black people died? It's
Mm-hmm.
equally important, if not more. So there was a lot of real things to talk about in the play, and not just in the script, but talking about it in rehearsal. It's kind of a defining moment for me to realize where my where my beliefs and where my values lie. Like I said before, it was kind of like, wow, so some of these white actors, the people who are playing the characters, are kind of similar to their characters in terms of
Mm.
ignorance. They don't know much about things that have nothing to do with them,
Uh-huh.
which made me think like, wow, it's not just this play. This play was written for a very specific real reason, because this is going on right in front of my eyes.
Yep.
And I wanted to do my own research and make sure I knew what I wanted to say and wanted to get out of this production. And so basically one of the main points of the play is that, how are we going to tell the story without information? We don't have a lot of information about this African genocide, but we want to make sure that people know that this event happened.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really a defining moment for me, doing research about that play. And yeah, just the rehearsal process was really, really different from anything I had ever experienced before, because we spent a lot of time reading and analyzing the script and doing research, because it's about a very real tribe in a very real place and a very real event. So
No, that's
yeah, that was,
fantastic. So what would you consider, if that's a defining moment, what was the greatest challenge while you were in school?
the greatest challenge. I feel like time management is always a big
Mm.
challenge with someone who's in acting school. Acting school is pretty demanding. I mean, it's basically like conservatory training mixed with regular college classes. In conservatory training, you might have so my first year, it was Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, or Monday, Thursday, and Fridays, we had 9 to 5. That
Okay.
was our schedule. And the other days, we had regular classes throughout the day. So time management can be really tricky when you're going to school. That kind of feels like a job, like the hours of a job. You still have to do homework, and you still have to go to rehearsal.
Yep.
And if you don't have a family who can financially support you in school, you have to find a way to make money on the side. So that was
That's
that
a
was
yeah.
I
That's a challenge.
think,
So how would you say the scholarship may have helped you? How did the scholarship help you achieve your college aspirations?
well, specifically, this scholarship is very close to my heart because of Woodson. And another thing is, NYU is a very expensive school. I think a lot of
Yeah.
people know that. And any amount of help and support that I could get, I was very, very appreciative of. And just because of what innovation stands for and how close it is to my family, and the circle, and how I know innovation supports my creative aspirations. And some scholarships I had strangely would send out resources to all the scholars, and there will be nothing artistic whatsoever. Hi guys, I'm studying drama.
No, I remember your poem. It was an awesome poem with your first application. It was just outstanding. In fact, we actually published it on our social media
Yes,
page.
I remember that, and I was like so touched. I was so touched in the first place that poetry was a part of the process. Because I was like, this is what I mean. This is artistic.
No, that's fantastic.
But I'm
So
grateful for everything.
no, we were happy. I mean, your qualifications were off the chart, so it wasn't like anybody was giving you anything. You earned every bit of it.
Oh, thank
So what lesson would you pass on to graduating seniors who are preparing to go to college?
you.
And what, if anything, would you do differently if you had a chance to have a do-over?
Wow, that's a great question. So I think in this time of the pandemic and how learning has shifted a little bit, I think what a big piece of advice I could give is to not be afraid to ask questions, not be afraid to ask for help, because there are people who will help you. I was just an RA this past year, so I helped a lot of residents, and I realized at the end when things came to a head that people didn't want to ask for help until things got really, really bad.
Yeah.
My big piece of advice is don't wait until things get terrible. Once you start feeling like you need help, ask for it, and there will be
Mm-hmm.
somebody more than willing to give you the help you need.
That's
Because
fantastic.
I think nobody deserves to suffer in silence. I'm always willing to help, and I know there are a lot of people who will do the same.
And
And
that's
especially
great.
with everybody learning how to navigate social distancing and like virtual learning, it's a different ball game that
Mm-hmm.
everybody is new to. Like nobody is very familiar with this, maybe virtual learning, but a combination of a pandemic and virtual learning
Yeah.
that we have to do. It's like not really a choice. This is not like a familiar thing to
No,
anyone. So we're figuring out together, and I think asking for help is
that's
something
great
we
advice.
should be ashamed of. Yeah.
That is great advice. So what are your current plans?
My current plans right now, I'm waiting for the theater world to open back up.
Yeah. Duh, right?
My plans right now is to do administrative work in theater while I'm waiting for everything to open back up. I still want to perform too. So when everything is back up and safe to perform, and people are still finding ways to do things digitally, which I'm getting into. I also
Mm-hmm.
write a
Oh,
lot.
nice.
Besides the poetry, I do like writing scripts too. So I've been working on that. And yeah, I'm doing little remote job work for Black owned companies right now, like helping them with the more like digital things that I've learned how to do in school.
Nice.
Little
Nice.
other skills that I've picked up just to like make some money until my passion can be like put into practice a little bit more when everything is safe and yeah, the
Now I
theater
get you.
opens back up.
So I'm going to ask you this really futuristic question. So we're going to fast forward 20 years, and you're now around 40, let's say.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about the last 20 years of your life. What have you done?
Wow, that's a lot of years, and I want to do so much. So I think my thing is I've never really been concerned about being famous. I think what I want to do is I want to have somebody hear what I have to say. And I feel like I have things that need to be said. So, which is why I like writing and I like directing. So I want to have written and directed some shows that have really touched people and communities in some way. And I want to have hopefully written plays that are more than just like scripts to read, but people actually pick up this play and say, okay, this is something where I can learn from someone else's
Yeah.
experiences from, especially people who are not Black or not people of color, and they want to just like understand a little bit more how like we navigate in this world. Because I realized that we navigate the world in such a specific way that some people who are not white, some people who are not, sorry, Black or people of color, just don't, they don't
Yeah.
concern themselves with that because they don't have to.
Yeah.
But we have to, and we could really benefit from white people recognizing their privilege. So that's something I always wanted to highlight, and I hope that that point gets across in the next 20 years, hopefully in the next 5 years, because I'm working on it. I really want people to know that it's not just on us to make things better. They need to make space too.
Yeah.
That's a really big thing. And I want to do some performing because performing is really near and dear to my heart. I love how it feels. I love like being a part of the education process that art has to offer, because you can learn a lot from seeing a play. You can learn a lot
Mm-hmm.
from reading a play or seeing a show or listening to music that has like a really good message. So yeah, I
That's
hope that people will see me and say she stands for something. I don't want my beliefs and values to be ambiguous. So
we look forward to hearing from you throughout the years. We just know that you're going to do some incredible things. When we see folks who have it, and you've got that it, we want to make certain that we continue to sort of connect with them. And if there's anything that you can do as one of the alumni of the scholarship, if you need help from us, you let us know, because we are tremendously proud of you, and we thank you for your time today. And so I don't have any more questions of you. If you have anything you want to just sort of close out with, feel free.
I just wanted to say thank you so much, because I love getting a chance to talk about this, and I love getting a chance to reach out to future scholars in any way I can, especially after this past year being an RA and seeing students kind of rise up in their first year of college. I think it's very important to highlight things that I wish I could have done better, because you can
Mm-hmm.
always help someone else have a less stressful journey. And I think it should be that way. I think we should get better every time, every generation.
Yeah,
So
no.
thank you
Well,
for letting
well,
me
no,
know.
thank you again for your time, and look forward to keeping in contact with you.
Definitely.